G'day guys, it's Ninja and we've got Jerrick on the table today. Before we start, if you like our channel, please subscribe, like, share our videos. It really helps us out. So really appreciate your support. We've got courses as well, so look in the links below. So just want to get that out of the road just before we start. But Jerrick has had a shoulder issue for a few years now. So I'm gonna work on the lats and some ribs. So tell us a bit about your shoulder and you're a wrestler as well. So
yeah, on the mats.
On the mats. So tell us about your shoulder a bit and what we want to achieve today, man.
Yeah, so I've just been dealing with some shoulder issues, like Ninja said, for a couple of years now. I've got this really solidified spot on the side of my shoulder blade, more like the teres minor, major attachment. And it's just, I can tell the scar tissue's been built up there. It restricts my range of motion and it affects the strength in it too. So it'll be good to get a little bit of a clean out in that area.
Yeah, so I'm going to just make a start. So I'm just going to do some broader work. I just want to do a palm stroke through it and get connected. And it's a way of just getting a little bit of our myo wax on there. So muscular wax. For the people that ask quite often, it's we use beeswax and coconut oil. We kind of blend it together and make it ourselves. So there's love going into the process. So we all help out with that. We do it slowly. We don't know microwaves or anything like that. We put it in a steel pot and boil it on the stove type of thing to melt the coconut oil and the beeswax together. So just getting a few little flicks there.
Yeah, a couple of nodules.
Yeah, so we're just sort of warming up that superficial fascia on the ribs, through the serratus a little bit and the lats a little bit. But yeah, like Jerrick was saying, it feels like it's the teres.
Yeah.
And might be some lats that are coming up into here. So I'm going to
definitely
do it with a forearm. So this is kind of be a bit deeper, but I'm not going to use the elbow. I'm going to use the forearm. So I can kind of use different parts of my forearm too, depending on how much strength. So this is like a mid-strength. If I was going there, it'd be like weaker kind of, but I can use my other hand to kind of get it on. That might be a good shape actually. So I'm looking at the shape of Jerrick, in this instance, his body, the place I'm working on, what tool do I want to use, how much depth do I want, and what direction do I want to encourage the tissue as well. So these are all kind of different things we need to think about as a practitioner. What are we trying to achieve, and be directed by your person, the human in front of you. They're kind of the expert on them, so they can kind of intuitively know where they want to have body work done because they live in the temple, so they know that house well, so they kind of know what's bothering them, and if something could be released off, reduced down, their life would be better. So you can't discount that intelligent information. It's just really important to honour that and explore that, and the body will tell you if it's the right kind of push. So you know what a therapeutic sensation is as opposed to something that's traumatic or something that's doing nothing. It's not connecting, it's not going to change anything. So we kind of intuitively know. So that feels like I was really mobilising through your ribs and things like that too.
It felt good, yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like my ribs kind of get stuck, or sometimes it affects my breathing. I can't get a full deep breath in, or if I do, I feel that restriction in the side of the rib.
Yeah. So I might kind of try and get it going up the other way and see how that feels. So I'm actually hooking onto your hip a bit there too.
Yeah,
like a stretch out.
Yeah.
So I think there was something, what does Aaron do a couple of weeks ago? Do you remember that? I think even if you kind of go like that a bit, and I can kind of, like it was going to stretch out his lats a little. So I'm pushing across into his hip there and then dragging that up there. So he's going to be a bit of lower back mobilisation, that the continuation of those lats can be stretched a little. So like that. How's it feel, man?
That feels really good. It does feel like it's really stretching from both ends.
Yeah. So just this other anchor down here can be involved, and you can enhance your treatment. And it's not that hard to do. I feel really, stable in this position here. just holding this isometric kind of contraction. I'm trying to really open this up like that. I can change angles as I can feel there's different hardnesses coming up into my blade, and I can kind of tune into that and try and hone in on it.
Yeah.
Just through there, I just need to change my angle a little, like that, and that's going to help me hit the blocks. So that's what it's all about. We've got to hit the blocks, because if we want to make changes, we need to affect them, make them softer so they're not kind of so dense and bunched up, and stopping the elongation or the contraction of that part. Because we need to squish as well as we need to stretch, for movement to occur. So it's really important that the tissue is flexible so that it can do both. How's that going there, man? I'm just following that line.
Feels good on the tricep. That whole line's getting stretched out.
Yeah, I think I might even be able to follow along that tricep a bit and keep that connection. Like I feel like I got a good contrast there.
Good anchor.
Yeah, and I can just keep on working like that, like that lateral tricep.
Oh yeah.
So working, covering your face a little there, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
So yeah, just really slowly going through, connecting through there, and it's just sort of like when you're doing body work, like sometimes you just feel like I'm not going to just stop. I'm just going to keep on going. This is a continuation, and it just feels right. And you want that sense when you're receiving as well. I don't want you to stop there. I want you to keep on working that fascia through. I feel like I want to get a different anchor now. Mm-hmm. See that? I can stretch that. Yeah, like it was getting a bit far away, so that I can kind of get back on that, and I can kind of, it's like it's compressed into right here, and then I can stretch that out. That tricep, I feel like there's something just blocked there, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, the stroke's not going through. So like instead of trying to force it through, I just be patient. Our man Alec Hormozy says, patience. What do you when you got to be patient with something for something to mature and come to fruition? What do? You find something cool to do in the meantime. So while I'm sitting on this, I'm having a chat with Jerrick. That's what he said. Do something cool, and then before you know it, this is melted. But that's the thing. Like, with body work, you can't inject, force what you kind of believe needs to happen. You got to wait, and it kind of unravels at the pace that the person needs to unravel at. Like, and sometimes things are too blocked, they're too raw, they're too tender, they're too something, and they're not ready yet. They need to kind of, you can't force a flower to bloom type of thing. If you try and force a flower to open up, it rips. When you try and do it. So it's like that. Like, things bloom when they're ready, and it's like the same thing with things that are stuck and blocked up in the body, the scar. It's you kind of unravel it at the pace that you're able to go at. Sometimes people have had a gutful, they're ready, it's been in there for so long, I'm just ready for you to do whatever it takes to break it up. And other times it's too sensitive, it's too raw, it's too fresh, it's too emotional to go through just yet. So you got to go the surface layer, and it might be a thin layer for a start, and then you can kind of get deeper and deeper over time, and that's okay too. Not everyone can be fixed in one go, even though that's my want, but I've got to kind of honour that that's not always appropriate and right for people. So that feels good. How's that going, man?
It feels great.
Yeah, I feel like I got through that block. So like while I need to be patient and work through that part, I weren't moving through. I had a chat with you guys, see? Did something cool in the meantime. So you don't need patience, you just got to do cool stuff. Find cool stuff to do. Hang around with cool people that light you up and, give you energy rather than the opposite, that take energy away. And make you feel worse. Maybe just have a little test.
Oh, that feels good. That whole line, that whole stretch just feels so much free already, you know?
Yeah.
I think that tricep did play a big part.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting part where you said about with the time and the patience, because I think it was Tom Myers with Anatomy Trains, he was speaking about fascia there's a threshold. You can't just plow through it.
Yeah.
It's a time where it's tight, and then all of a sudden you've got enough time in there, then it just relaxes.
Yeah. It melts.
Yeah, it melts.
It's
literally.
melting point or something like that, if that's a good kind of visual.
Yeah. So that was really good.
Yeah. We're going to do one more thing. We're probably going to do something. We were going to do work right into these attachments just with the thumbs and stuff, but I think because we did these strokes took up more time. Let's do some ribs, so some serratus. So I might just get a thumb in there like that, and like what we were doing, get you to breathe, man. So breathe. So as he's breathing in, it kind of pushes me out, but then then he breathes out, and then I can kind of sink in like that, and I can go in deep. So I can kind of follow along the lines of the ribs and kind of clear. So when he's breathing out, his body's relaxed, I can kind of go in deep and clear. And then when he's breathing in again, I kind of rest up a bit or don't connect in as hard, but then I'm breathe out, and then we can kind of clear along a rib line like that. So breathing is a really important thing, you know, something that we probably don't give enough thought to, enough practice to breathe deeply. But if you can breathe deeper, you can perform better. You've got more capacity for your lungs to get air in and kind of push it out as well. Those waste products and things like that. So, and that's the thing to think about when you're performing. If you can kind of, you know, when you're gassed and you kind of got a little bit of time, try and get as much air out as possible. Because if, you know, think about if you've got residual air in there, you can only breathe in so much. But if you kind of push out more, you're getting more waste products out, then you can breathe more fresh air in. So then you can recover better, perform better. So it's something that I try and practice when I'm gassed after I do my 150 metre runs, perhaps. After I do that initial really that kind of stuff, then start to try and breathe out more, exaggerate my outward breath, and then you get more performance. And breathing through your nose while you're actually performing as well. I think it's helps too, because you kind of filter the air, you spiralise the air. So just a couple of little breathing tips, eh? So we can do, so it can be a thumb. You can also, like, just use a finger like that. So we can kind of get in between the ribs, pull up. So I might feel up into there, under the lats. So breathe in, man. And then as he's breathing out, I can kind of get into there. So I might be able to do a bit of a counter strain with the knuckles there. So I'm pushing up along that trap, get a bit more work into there, and then push down like that. And that counter strain starting to get even more exaggeration into the ribs. So so you might have a blow, you know, like a punch or an elbow or a head into your ribs, you know, and there's actually scar tissue, or you know, just whatever it is, you know, a strain in these kind of spots, and like you can really fix things up one treatment. So just following those ribs and try and really clear out that space so that they're stuck together and they're not able to expand and contract fully. You can clear it out just with a finger like that, but nice and slow once again. And I'm just sort of pushing up with this opposite hand. Try and get a bit of work in to that line. I'll just keep going a little bit more. I can feel the spot there. Yeah. So when you tune in, you can start to feel different levels of solidity, and you kind of sense things. Oh, that shouldn't really be like that, and that's all you're doing. You kind of, I reckon if I try to mould that a bit, push that a bit, mobilise that a bit, see how it goes, see what it feels like for the person receiving as well. Do they feel like it's therapeutic, or is it wrong town, or is it doing nothing? Yeah. We need to know. Yeah, just a little wiggle in there. There we go. So I can go through all the ribs or go again on those specific ribs wherever Jerrick felt like he needed work.
Yeah, awesome, man.
So yeah, if you're a wrestler, like grappling or doing work like that, or even if you're kind of just a desk worker and you got problems in these sort of areas because you're always like this, it gets fixated and stuck, or whatever. There's so many reasons why you might need this kind of treatment. So Jerrick's our wrestling man. Instead of if you've got all these grappling things, he's putting together his series. So yeah, have a look at that. Need work, come and book in with Jerrick, or you can try and see me. It's all good. So yeah, thank you for support once again, and yeah, come in, get it done.